I started working on the bus in 1997 in my studio. I wanted to make a piece that I could continue with because the other works I was doing in the studio in Toronto were all pieces that were going to be worked from day one to a day finish. So the last project was about 2 years, maybe just over 2 years. So I would rent a space for that period of time. I wanted just to continue with something that I could always go back at. So it wasn't the idea of showing it. It was just to be a secret. When we moved out, we built this building and I started working on the Bruegel Bosch bus. There was a period that I almost worked maybe a full 6 months on it and then started exhibiting again. So it's always been a bit of a cushion for my career. It's just, if it went quiet, I always had lots to do. And during that period of time, I was able to purchase things. So I was collecting, and even before we built it, I was collecting things. That was another reason I had to move out of the city because the storage became another issue. Needed a bigger space. And that kind of freedom of time to work on a piece. We had a tornado go through our area, so it didn't hit us, but hit the farm next to us. And we watched it go by, and it was like just a matter of a few meters. And it would have hit my building, and that thing inside of it, it would be a whole other story, because I don't think it's tornado-proof as a piece. But I started thinking, like, well, it's not safe, and because I wasn't thinking the idea of it going anywhere. But after that point, it was the idea that maybe I would try to work in a situation that it could be in a particular place. We had approached other places, the National Gallery, a few places that I was working on with my dealers at that time, but it had to have certain conditions. One is to be permanent, lose people right there at that situation. For one gallery was the idea that they would love to have it, but they don't buy unfinished work, so that's part of the rule. And then some it was it would be a nightmare for them, just to categorize everything. And there's other interests, but Hamilton became the place that if it was going to go somewhere, Hamilton would be great. It can work in this context. It's clear, Every few years, it becomes more and more clearer to me that it's working, because now you have an art street. Because there's a lot of art things in here. There's a lot of artists here. It's a good place to be and work as artists, working artists. And also, the condos are showing up, so that's another threat to artists too. Restaurants move in, which is good, but then watch out for the next layers, right? But anyway, just watching the condos and going in this area and then having City Hall, it just became a perfect situation to be involved in. And the idea that I can come here and work on it that's a very special, I would say almost unheard of, that an artist can keep working on its work. So it's been the right conditions for it.
Is there a one or two items that are of special, that are your favorites?
It's more how they work together,
right.
Because they all belong to each other. They're all interconnected in some way, almost. I mean, he is, this is one of my favorites, but the Tick is great too. It's like, and he still talks.
I am the Tick. Oh, gross.
That was perfect. It's like, these guys used to talk
Did
too.
you change the batteries on these?
No, that's been like that since 1997. He's still talking. Well, actually, we had the dinosaur growl the other day, right? I think art is a working class thing, it doesn't always have to be, and it always is. But for me, it's a blue collar job, was the way I approach it. I like to work. I work every day. That's not working for the bus or yeah, it's making me work for it. Because it's been so long working here, I ended up, there's other people who's had history with the work. Somebody, said that their father used to bring him here when he was acting up. Unless you want to come and see the bus, that would settle him down, and they'd go for a walk and come see. So I've been seeing a generation, which I didn't know that much about because there was quite a big blank, with not working on it or just coming in a day but not staying in the space. I learned a lot from what people were feeling about it, and they would tell me about it, or how many times they come here, and I didn't know it had a regular base. It made it very special, to me, because normally I would, if we didn't have this situation, I wouldn't know, Everybody's been good. I've been lucky. Put it this way, this is one I know I'll never finish. That's, that doesn't have that vocabulary where, someday it'll be finished. It won't. There's no finishing.